For 100 or 150 years, maybe, everybody in the country knew that this office didn't create anything great. This office guarded everything great. But then we lost our way, and maybe we got arrogant, and we forgot who we really were. Earlier this week, we were all captivated in America by an incredible sight. One man, wearing a spacesuit, dropping out of a capsule 24 miles off the face of the planet. Just a few words, he stepped out into space and hurtled towards Earth. In a free fall, he moved faster than the speed of sound, almost 800 miles an hour. At one point, he was spinning out of control, so much that if he would have continued spinning, he would have passed out and eventually would have died. But with all of us watching and holding our breath, he was able to stabilize himself. And with slightly more than 4 minutes into his fall, he pulled the chute and gently drifted towards Earth. He landed on his feet. What an amazing sight. A world record free fall. So, who was this great discoverer of the heavens? An astronaut from NASA? Nope. He was a skydiver, just a basic stuntman. He wasn't even an American, which kind of wrecked it there for me, for a while at least. Who sponsored the test of the human capacity for endurance? Had to be the U.S. military, of course. No. No, it was actually the maker of a high-caffeine energy drink, which makes you kind of wonder, if a drink company can come up with this kind of mind-bending achievement, what can NASA do with all of its science and resources? Well, it turns out, because of the lack of vision, all they seem to know how to do at NASA now is turn out the lights. Earlier this summer, NASA sent the space shuttle Endeavour on a cross-country trip to California. They flew it over the entire country and gave us all a beautiful and awesome and mighty demonstration of mankind's power of discovery, swooping low over the Golden Gate Bridge. My son spoke about this just the other day. It was last weekend. We flew into an airport and he saw a giant 747. And he said, "Dad, that's just like the plane that flies the space shuttle." He was excited, but I was sad. It ripped my heart out because the space shuttle wasn't on its way to meet new adventures. It wasn't being replaced by anything. It was on its way to its grave, mothballs in some warehouse. We were watching the funeral parade for America's manned spaceflight program. And instead of holding our hands over our hearts and a tear in our eye, we acted like it was a great show. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many scientific things were solved by Felix Baumgartner's 24-mile drop from space. I know the spacesuit was kind of new, and I don't know what else. I'm not sure what we learned, or whether we even really learned anything. But at least someone was out there trying. At least someone was doing something audacious, scaling the walls of the heavens, firing through new barriers, breaking the surely bonds of Earth. The shuttle used to be our vehicle of discovery. It used to be the best example of America's leadership in space. It was American-run, American-owned. And now I don't know what we have to do. Do we have to hitch a ride with the Russians or the Chinese, if they'll let us on? We used to be the pioneers. And now we're putting our spacecraft into mothballs and giving up the role of leadership to others because we're told we can't afford it anymore. This is an abdication of leadership. And America, hear me clearly, it's a lie. If a small beverage company can get a man 24 miles up from the surface of the earth and have him drop to the earth like a stone safely, we can be part of mankind's ongoing exploration of the heavens and everything else. Surely we can do more. We can do better than we do today. John F. Kennedy was the one who said we should go to the moon. He worked at this desk, and he challenged the nation's top scientists to put a man on the moon and return him safely in 1 decade's time. The genius of Kennedy's charge wasn't that it was just big, wasn't that it was just bold. It represented a choice. We could have chosen to be less, to do less, to settle for lesser things. But Kennedy understood that Americans don't settle. We climb mountains and pierce space. We set big goals precisely because we believe we should achieve them, and we can achieve them. It's true that we don't always succeed. But the men who have always sat behind this desk and worked in this room, they didn't get elected to play small ball. They were trusted to put America on a path of greatness, a path of exploration, a path of discovery. When a president, any president, limits our ambition, tells us you can't make it, and actually puts an end to the single greatest act of discovery we can undertake, it's not just a violation of the mission of this office, it's a violation of the principles that have made this country great. I don't know if you felt this way, but I thought it spoke volumes that my son and children all around the country were captivated by the man who fell from space. I don't think we've seen that for quite some time. It reminded me of my childhood. My son wanted to learn more about him. How did he do it? Here's the good news, America. Children are still dreaming, they're still curious, and they're still hoping that life will be filled with new horizons. And I got news for you. It will be. As long as their parents, the adults of this country, don't disappoint them. Let's bring back our own sense of the possible. Help me. Join me on my journey to restore hope by discovering new American dreams. The best has yet to come. Believe it, and it will be so. May God bless you, and may God bless the Republic. From Texas, good night, America.